What's up, guys? Hard to Decor here, and I'm here for the first week of the IBL. Um, so basically, I'm going against Francisco and his team. So I'm just gonna give you a preview of the team, then I'll show the actual battle in a replay. Okay, so first off, I have Pliers, the Mega Scizor, and he's gonna be here mainly for his Staraptor, as it does pose a huge problem for this team. I have Krusty that could take a hit, but he's a different set. It's also for a Azumarill, because most of the time this thing just switches into a Azumarill and it takes a hit beautifully. 252 defense, 248 HP, and 8 in attack. Kind of self-explanatory. Knockoff to get rid of items. Bullet Punch, Roost, and Defog. Mind you, this game already happened inside a live commentation. I'm just gonna post commentate, obviously. So here I have Bannetes the Florges. This is for Azelf, Alakazam. I have his special attackers that need to be walled here. Um, I have the 248 HP just because this thing's a wall and it needs to take hits all around. I have 100 in defense in case if I have to take a Staraptor's Brave Bird, like at the end, and I don't feel like switching in Scizor. I have 160 in Spadef because it's honestly so high here. I don't need to be max, and I could just afford to lose some into defense. So this is for the Azelf and Alakazam mainly. I don't think he's gonna bring both, but if he does, I just walled him with this thing basically. Um, and next I have Kirby the Jolteon. This thing, I think it has coverage for everything on his team. It can be problematic from what's it called? Fabio, his Mega Ampharos, as Hidden Power Ice. I know it won't one shot even though I do have the Life Orb. Volt Absorb, I realized in game that it doesn't matter since it does have what's it called? That one ability called Mold Breaker that actually ignores this. So Volt switches for initiative, Thunderbolt just for damage if I want to stay in, and Shadow Ball is just because this thing gets no coverage. So we have DJ Wayne. He's making his appearance. He's gonna be our wall breaker basically. He has Hurricanes to hit super hard, Superpower to also hit super hard. Knockoff knocks off those items obviously, and U-turn for some more initiative. This thing we have the Real MVP. He's gonna be Choice Scarf. He's gonna have U-turn for initiative. Glaciate is just so I can catch that Lando on a switch in. Bolt Strike is for the Azumarill if I'm high enough where I could take an Aqua Jet high enough. Teehee. V Create is obvious. Like this thing needs V Create. I even though I do have U-turn and Glaciate, I decided to just go with the Jolly Nature because I didn't want to drop any of my defenses, and I felt like this won't matter too much since Glaciate's a 2-hit KO either way. So, and I didn't want to waste any of my EVs from attack into special attack, and I need to be fast, so that's my thing there. Krusty, I feel like this thing's gonna come in clutch, or I felt like since this game's already over, but it has Focus Sash. It's for the Azumarill basically. It's not a switch in. Scizor is my switch in, but this thing right here, it has a Sash, so it can take a play rough from Azumarill, and I could retaliate with the Earthquake, or I can get up my rocks. I would like to lead off with this thing, but I don't want my Sash broken in case if he does have a Azumarill. So Stone Edge and Declar for coverage. I do realize that Lando T does wall me, cause I can be running Adamant, but then a Staraptor outspeeds me. That's not Scarfed, so cause Scarf outspeeds me obviously. So this is the team I'm bringing against Francisco, and we're gonna go right into it. Let me open it up right here. Alright, so I'm gonna play music off because that can be loud. Okay, so I'm gonna open up with Scizor because I do predict him leading off with Lando, which I get correct. And I'm just able to Mega and fire off a knockoff here. I figure he might get up rocks, but no, he just goes for a U-turn. Staraptor comes in here and I just knock off, as I said, knocking off that Choice Scarf, which is so big in this later game. So he goes for a U-turn to get more initiative, and I just clicked BP. Oh no, I clicked Roost. I was predicting the Brave Bird, so I wanted Roost up all the damage I took. So Ampharos is such an obvious play here, so he just goes for a Volt Switch. He gets off his Mega. It's really important. I can take a hit from Staraptor, but I'd rather not. So I just go into Pliers here to take the BB, and I just yeah, I just click Roost here because I don't want to take any more damage than I really need to. So Ampharos just comes in here. I go into Florges again because that's main. No, I go into Kirby. That's a weird play because I didn't realize that a mold breaker broke the Volt Absorb, so I just went into that thing not realizing, and I just bring this thing predicting another Dragon Pulse and I throw up a Toxic. Let me pause here. Okay, so my logic there was I thought he would switch, but he made a misplay because he thought he was faster and went for a Volt Switch, so I could have gotten off Moonblast damage. That would have been really helpful later in the game, but throwing up that Toxic was definitely a mistake. I was predicting him to Hard Switch. So as he does a Volt Switch and he brings in Lando, so here I'm gonna go for a Protect, and he just gets up his rocks for free. So that was a huge misplay on my part. I should have just brought in Scizor. It's not a hard play. So he does bring in Azelf as I go for a Wish, and I'm just able to fire up Moonblast here, and that Psychic does 0. Go for Moonblast. It gets a crit. Unfortunately, I don't think it matters. Like, I honestly don't think it does. So I just go for another Wish, and since I have a Wish up, I just want a Moonblast to get off damage on this thing, and it does go for the Brave Bird. So that knocks me down to 18%. So that 100 in defense did end up paying off. So he goes for a Azumarill here, and let me pause to say my mindset on this. I thought that he was going to be running a Belly Jet Azumarill because 6-0 is my team, honestly. And no, if I went for Moonblast, my logic here was okay. That did nothing because he's AV, and if he was on Belly Drum, he obviously wouldn't have an AV, so that'd do more damage. And after Belly Drum, he'd be within range for my Bullet Punch to kill with Scizor, and if not, I could just sack off Garchomp to his Aqua Jet or Play Rough or whatever. Actually, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, I outspeed him, so that was my logic. But he ends up being AV and goes for a Waterfall. Now this thing's basically dead, but I want to keep it around for fodder later in the game. So I bring in Pliers here and it just goes for a Waterfall. Um, and here I just click B. No, I click Roost. Yeah, Roost is the better play, obviously. He's gonna get hurt by poison, and here I just click Defog because I don't want these rocks up. They're breaking Garchomp's stash. So he clicks Volt Switch. It was a pretty obvious play. I predict HP Fire because I feel like he would come prepared for Scizor, and I get it correct. And that does relatively nothing. He tells me right here that Alakazam has no EVs, and I go for Glaciate, predicting the Lando. I don't know why he stayed in. I guess he didn't think I was Scarf. But yeah, he went for a Shadow Ball, and that caught me off guard. So I had a hard switch in DJ Wayne there, and it was a double out anyway into his Azumarill. So Pliers versus Alakazam here. I could just sack off this thing. Oh, that's actually annoying knowing that I could live a Psychic because this was just fodder switching. But since he has no EVs, I'm able to survive it. So I could have got this thing back up to full if I played it correctly. But it honestly doesn't. Editing that out. So I just click a V create on Real MVP, and since he didn't switch out last time, so I figure he's gonna stay in again. So he brings out Azelf here. My speed dropped, so I had to switch out, and I switch into this thing because I know it's gonna kill itself to Life Orb, and this thing isn't as relevant anymore. So he just goes into Ampharos, and I just click U-turn here so I can get off some damage. It's honestly nothing, but I just bring in Pliers on the D-Pulse. If he gets a crit, it doesn't really matter. I could just click Roost here either way, and he clicks Rest, which this thing's able to stall me out pretty well, and these next few turns is just a lot of stall. So it's basically me clicking knock off a bunch, and him just trying to get lucky with moves. This was an unnecessary play. It made no sense. He could have got D pulse. It would have been bad. So I just clicked on D claw, and he brings in Lando here, and I have a clean switch into Scizor every time this thing comes in, but he gets up rocks, but I could just defog them away, so that's not really a relevant play. I don't understand it that much, so I just do defog. Then here I click knockoff because I just want to get as much chip damage, but he could honestly just stall me, which is pretty annoying, but I don't know. So here I'm basically forced to click Roost because I believe 2 EQs from here kills me, so I just click Roost, and here he went for rocks. I understand. I just went for a defog. It's the best play, and then I just click knockoff because I don't know how to play Pokemon. I'm new, guys. So he does go for rest again, which is, this thing's starting to get annoying. I don't know how I break through it. I basically have to get off chip damage with Victini until the point where I could revenge with an HP Ice from Jolteon. So he does go for an Earthquake, and I go for a Roost. I could have knocked off his item there, so I don't really agree with that play. And now I know how much EQ's doing, so I'm just going to click knock off next time that thing's in. But I knock off, and since I'm at -2, these knockoffs are doing like 10%, which is nothing. And you get Sleep Talk Rest. I believe he wakes up this next turn, so I just click knock. Yeah, he does wake up. He goes for the D pulse. It's not doing much, but he's defensive Fabio set. He goes for a Volt Switch again, just so he can get off another Intimidate. This is starting to get annoying, honestly, but I don't know how to break through that Fabio wall, so I just click Roost here. Oh no, I click Knockoff. That's a misplay, I think. But I just click Roost here. It's gonna be a long battle. It is a pretty long battle. It's just because this matchup right here, I was so stingy to switch out, and he honestly had no reason to switch out. So here it just goes for rest. Basically, I have to sack off. Well, I should have sacked off DJ Wayne there. This is a really risky play, and I went for V create. It does around 33%, and two more of these kills him. And he goes for a Sleep Talk and gets rest, which is unfortunate. And then I get a crit with V create, so it just doesn't work out for him that well. And then he wakes up this next turn and kills me off. That was a misplay. He should have clicked rest. Now I just get to revenge him with Kirby, clicking HP Ice. And the bad thing about this is that now I'm in range for Azumarill to kill me with Aqua Jet, so I have to go into Scizor here. And he gets a crit with Waterfall, which honestly doesn't matter, so I just get to get off BP damage, and he goes for another Aqua Jet, so I can be mad, but I won't be. So I just go into DJ Wayne. This is the play right here. I go for Hurricane. He lives on 1%. So now I just can go into Garchomp, and I click Stone Edge. He was gonna die either way that turn, so I do click Stone Edge, and here's a play. I go for Rocks, and now that thing's dead on entry, and I just win here. I just have to get off some damage so that HP Ice can finish this thing off, and this game is mine basically. I think it was really close. The way he played his Ampharos wasn't that great. He could have played it better, I think, like resting on one of my V creates, and then honestly would have ended up in stall kind of. He would have to get like a rest talk into an attack so he can finish me, but then honestly, it could have been anything. It could have been anyone's game. It was close, no matter what. Kirby came through with 2 kills. It was two. Yeah, it was only 2 kills. There were ones that mattered. Garchomp got one that really mattered in Azumarill, and this is my week 1 game. So this should be going up the same day that I posted my IBL draft analysis, so you can see just how great of a player I am. Just kidding. I'm actually a scrub. Don't listen to me. Alright, I'm gonna end it off here, guys. Peace out. I'll see you next week with this battle, but I'll probably see you a different day with different uploads. This isn't all I'm doing, guys. Peace out.